Good day, good people. So a question that I get a lot is AA a cult? This is an interesting question for me to answer because it sits at the intersection of several topics about which I create content: trauma and dissociation, addiction recovery, and spiritual abuse. So I'm the author of the book Trauma and the 12 Steps, which was originally published in 2012 and then reissued in 2020. And the tone of that book has always been one that is fundamentally supportive of the 12 steps themselves and what the 12 steps can do for people who are seeking some kind of recovery. Yet we have long been concerned about a lot of the abuses of power that we see in 12-step meeting structures, among sponsors, and yes, in treatment centers that have a strong 12-step ideology at their focus. There are a lot of cases out there of people being traumatized or re-traumatized with 12-step recovery. And so my eyes are not closed about the problems that we see in the 12-step world. Yet, for me and many like me, the 12 steps have still given us a lot to support our recovery journey. So to really unpack the question, let's define what is a cult. The word cult itself is rather innocuous. It simply means to worship. A lot of the work I do is pointing out where we see elements of cultish or cultic behavior, even in mainstream spirituality, in churches, in 12-step meetings. That cult does not have to be the scary kind of communities that you see featured in documentaries. I encourage you to go to the International Cultic Studies Association's website, because there they list 13 characteristics of what is a cult. And in evaluating a lot of mainstream spirituality, what you often find is, as you go down this list of 13 characteristics, as is the case with AA, many people join and develop a cultish or cultic-like devotion to it. And a lot of other people like me join and take what we like and leave the rest. The interesting thing about 12-step programs, AA especially, is that they're designed to be autonomous, meeting to meeting. So some meetings scare me like I can't even describe. I would not go near there. I would not send my folks near there, people I work with. And there are other meetings where I go and I don't feel like there's this cultic or cultish quality to it. Something that's long concerned me as a universal characteristic that I can see AA being especially guilty of is this singular focus on Bill Wilson and Bob Smith, Dr. Bob Smith, the co-founders of AA. And indeed, one of the characteristics of a cult is devotion, absolute devotion to the founder, whether they be alive or dead. And if you've watched other content on this channel before, you know I'm one of the first people to call out Bill Wilson. He, to me, was just a vessel of this program that a lot of us have benefited from. But be very skeptical if you're around meetings or people or circles who really approach his words or Bob Smith's words as sacrosanct or above all others, because that may be a key that you're certainly around a cultic or a cultish group. So no, I don't believe AA at its heart is fundamentally a cult, but do I think people take it to that place and meetings take it to that place? Absolutely. And if your gut is saying this is not right for me, then honor it. One final note. If the AA groups in your area are just not appealing to you because of what you experience as this cult-like quality, please find something else that can help support you in your recovery goals and your recovery journey. Don't let this be the reason that you turn off recovery altogether.